options that are just so bad that it's like, okay, cool, I have 3 options, but one of them is obviously the best. Like, Jackson, would make sense to pair the duration one with a turret. True, but you could also just have 2 turrets, which is just better.
Which is double duration, by the way.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Instead of more duration, it's double duration, exactly.
It's a good game.
It's not.
We should do Rocket League at a hangout again soon, man. That was fun when we used to do that. It's been a long time.
You should do this.
Okay.
We are live! Boys and girls, welcome to the Dropshot Call of Duty Podcast, episode number 451. My name is Casey, also known as Razinon. Today, I am joined by Tanner.
Yeah. You are,
with this
man.
little latte, iced latte.
Okay.
We got 70 days, fellas, till BO6 comes out. And in the meantime...
and Nicole.
That's correct, yeah. In the meantime, we will be delivering to you all of the fun and exciting Call of Duty news that happens, each and every week. So today, we have some announcements. We'll go over those at the end of the show. We also have some topics, and there are not many, but we're going to dive straight into it. So starting off with the shortest section, frankly, patch notes, changes already in effect. First of all, there is a bug that has just been discovered today with the Core 45 pistol. As some of you may remember, it has an aftermarket part, a conversion kit, that gives it giga fire rate. This is incompatible with Akimbo Core 45s, which is another attachment. So those 2 attachments do exist for that gun, but you can't use them at the same time, psych. There's some bug in the game where you can in fact do it. And if you do that, and you take them into Warzone and shoot at someone who has full health, you kill them sub 300 milliseconds. Now for context, time to kill of the static, which is the best SMG in the game right now, is about 600 milliseconds. Oops. So the game is ruined right now until this is fixed. Because if you either use this, cringe, and you have to have a particular blueprint to do this bug, by the way, or you don't do this, and then as soon as you find someone who's doing this, you're dead. You can't compete at all.
Oh, so you have to have a certain blueprint, huh?
Cork and also screw, I think, is the blueprint name, yeah.
Oh, the cork plus the screw. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I watched Metaphor explain it, and by the way, I think there's a JGod tweet. So if you really insist on playing, you're basically going to have to be using these, because otherwise you're just losing every gunfight up close to someone who is. But, even if you can get the attachment, that's a really boring gunfight. 2 people using those, because someone's just gonna get zapped, and there's like almost no skill. That time to kill is too fast. Like, it's like multiplayer time to kill. It's just not fun. So I'd stay away from Warzone entirely, frankly, but if you don't want to do that, then you're gonna have to use those. So go look at JGod's Twitter. I think that's where everyone got it from. I expect that to be fixed quite soon, hopefully, but
real soon.
Yeah, but, it hasn't been yet, so we'll keep you guys posted. And then as far as other changes this week, again, actually, kind of surprisingly, not much happened, except for 2 days ago, at COD Updates made a tweet. A minor update was shipped overnight with the following bug fixes. Fixed an issue allowing players to fall from higher than intended without taking damage. And fixed an issue with trophy systems, causing bunker busters to become unusable for the duration of a match. So that second thing, okay. But the first thing, I believe, applies to, if you had Mountaineer, you could rappel from Stronghold straight onto a rooftop without pulling your chute. Pretty sure that was unintended, and I'm pretty sure that's not possible anymore. Not positive if that's what
I don't know if
to,
that's fixed.
but.
So this is related to the video Iceman Isaac posted last week, probably. I didn't watch the whole video, But basically the TLDR was you could fall from literally 100 meters in situations and not die. And the reason it was happening is because he discovered something like hitting the ground and taking damage wasn't exactly height based. It was more like velocity based. So I think if you hit a balloon, like you could pull your chute, and if you pulled back or something, you could hit the ground 90 to 100 meters in the air. Something like that. It was very, very high. So I hope the thing that you're talking about, like on Rebirth with some of those balloons, is not fixed, but it very well might be. Yeah, but it was because the video Isaac put out. So, and I tried this a couple times. There were some times I'm like, oh, I'm going to do this. And I would pull back when we were playing Urzikstan last week or something. And yeah, I mean, I was dropping 40, 50 meters. I didn't try it from that high, and I was surviving with Mountaineer. So.
Yeah. I was dropping 40, 50 kills, but you can.
He was hitting a zip and landing back at the bottom of the zip without pulling a parachute. Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty wild. So, and that was it. So, yeah. I mean, last week there were, I think, literally no patches, and this week, basically none also. Which annoys me only because the STG is still so broken right now. The more I play, the more annoyed with it I'm getting. It's just too fast, but I've complained about that plenty, and that won't be fixed or changed or nerfed or whatever until Season 5 Reloaded at this point. That's what it's looking like. So, yeah. Hope you guys like the STG, which I do, but it's just too overpowered. Anyway, let's move on to news and upcoming changes. Looking at greener pastures, first of all, Black Ops 6. So, we did get this week, and today, in fact, for these first couple things, some zombies intel. Call of Duty tweeted out a couple short little videos relating to zombies. Now, for those of you who have been watching or paying attention, we did cover their intel barrage on zombies last week, which was a huge blog post talking all about zombies. And we learned a ton from that. But these videos, hopefully, are going to provide us with even more info and maybe some context and stuff as well. So I've got the first video pulled up here. Tanner, I'm going to count us down and we're going to watch it together.
Let's do a countdown. I would love to watch this. Yeah.
With our little...
I have not seen this.
I have not seen either of these either. I want to experience it together. So. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to play it. Are we going to play this the whole way through, or are we going to do a couple little pauses? I think we're going to do a little
Let's just play it through. No,
okay.
Let's just play it through. It's too hard to pause with both of us, so just play it through one time.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, play.
It's one of our biggest round-based maps we've ever
Terminus.
made. And it's full of experiences to discover and really explore. We're here to break down all the new features that are going to be coming to Black Ops 6. Terminus is taking place in the early 90s, 5 years after the events of Cold War zombies. It seemed like a really cool place, like a tropical setting with various little islands out in the distance.
It's one part jail and other part secret research facility in the Philippine Sea to just develop weird science. The first thing you're going to see is just everything's dark, really moody. Everything looks shut down. You know something's happened there.
We want to set the
mood
mood so the player could feel the chaos of the recent outbreak of the zombies. We push the visual a lot, so make it more realistic.
Is that an accent or a speech impediment? I can't tell.
Just different ways to bring the world to life.
Living World is scripted encounters that we've placed.
The zombie
on the
was
map
sleeping, man. He's just hanging out.
We have these tubes that
Can't
have
just
zombies
disturb
inside
zombies,
of them.
man.
And when the player walks by them, it'll trigger the escape sequence for them. It'll be very scary and shocking. Give that feeling of, wow, this is a world that's existed prior to the player coming in.
Zombies have been attacking everything everywhere. So as you move into these spaces, we're really telling that story. Prison guards are still dying around you. You would encounter maybe a guard being eaten alive by a couple zombies, and then they see you and come and attack you.
The zombies, they're going to range from scientists to security, experiments.
Every time you enter a new space, you don't know exactly what to expect. A zombie head pops out as a vermin, and then it eventually gestates and then becomes a parasite.
The tentacle trap that's just an awesome trap.
The tentacle trap, they're placed over doorways. It drops down and eats up all the zombies that pass through.
It's a beast of a main quest. You know, it'll use the ocean, it'll use the islands, it'll use every part of the map proper. It's one of the bigger maps we've created.
We wanted you to really like think about how you're moving through this space. We never had a drivable vehicle. You can go drive a boat anywhere on the entire map. All that space out there that I thought was just the environment, that feeling of like, I can go anywhere.
How did you think
it's
it
like
if you
so
exciting?
In true Zombies fashion, you're never safe anywhere for very long.
He's the
A little bit of a
boss.
foreshadow to something bigger that you might
He
encounter.
doesn't know what's going on. That's what sounds like an average dev head.
Oh, that was a nice little Pack-a-Punch
Really
camo.
excited for everyone to just get their hands on it in Black Ops 6.
Okay, so that's the first little video. And this, I think this one dropped like 2 days ago. And then another one dropped today. So, yeah, didn't learn. It was a video. It was a video, yeah. It was cool. I liked seeing it. Did we learn anything additional? Not really. Don't think so.
I don't think we did, no. Like,
Don't
the
think
thing
so.
that we were saying about how, like, the security prison guards are, like, there and they're being killed by zombies still. That we did already know, but it was kind of cool to see the actual little clip of it happening. I hadn't seen that prior, but how, like, the environment interacts with the player. But yeah, other than that, yeah, we learned nothing. It looks cool, though.
It looks cool, but we learned basically nothing. Although, I had a question, actually, about what you just talked about, which is where, yeah, there's a little clip where it's like, oh, you open this new section, and you see zombies eating a security guard.
Yeah.
Okay, but this is also round-based, right? So, what if, like, a round starts, and instead of the zombies chasing me, they're just, like, eating some security guard's cock and balls?
Yeah.
And I have to like go look for them to start the next round because I have to kill them, right?
Yeah.
I could see that being kind of annoying.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how that's going to work. I agree.
So, yeah.
You're just going to walk in on a guard getting his cock and balls eaten right in front of you, huh? Is that what you're thinking?
Well, I mean, yeah, and it's like, hey, I want to start the next round, and I don't know where the last zombie is, but he's doing some scripted encounter with the environment where he's eating like some decoration that's going to have bad audio occlusion, probably. That could be annoying. However, it might also be the case that those things only happen when you open that area for the very first time, meaning...
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, meaning
once you get
this
into
wouldn't be an issue, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not going to, I don't think, happen past the first few rounds, honestly. Just once you get the areas open. But yeah, okay.
Yeah. So let's go to, and this one happened, this one hit the TL 2 days ago. And then we had another little video of the same type that hit the TL today. And it's equally short. It's same exact style. It's 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Are you ready?
What's the difference?
We're about to find out, man.
We're going to find out. I'm ready. Count it down.
3, 2, 1, press it.
It feels like there's nothing else on the market that can scratch the itch that Black Ops 6 Zombies gives.
Correct.
It's just
no other
so
Zombies
fun
games on the
to
market.
play through that gameplay loop over and over again.
Intel drops.
One of the newest things we have is called Augments, and
Talk louder,
it's
Mark.
a new way for us to upgrade perks, ammo mods, and field upgrades.
What's up with
have
this
longer
shirt?
arms
3
also,
major
Mark.
augments and 3 minor augments for you to choose from. So a major augment would be more drastic. So there's a major augment that will turn into 3 orbs that will essentially carousel around you and protect you. A minor augment might be stat changes like this napalm burst will now deal slightly more damage. One of our brand new perks, Melee Macchiato, gives you a devastating punch melee. It has a major augment that will improve the melee attack speed for all of your melee weapons.
I know perks have been in every game, but the augments really do give a new breadth to perks and using them, adding that customizability to using perks, making it feel individual to the one who's using it. So no perk really feels the same between 2 players.
Augments are a game changer. They allow you so much control over the way you want to play and experience the game.
Now we have replaced the armor upgrades in the arsenal with ammo mods. So when you go to the arsenal, you can apply an ammo mod to your weapon and upgrade its rarity.
We are bringing Ball Guns back and really just looked at how we could refine it and improve it for Black Ops 6.
So you will be able to pick 5 gobble gums in menus and put those into a pack that you then use inside the match. And in the match, you just find a gumball machine, you go up to it, and then it'll give you one of those gobble gums.
And you can choose when you want to activate them. And you can activate multiple at once.
They can range from small changes in gameplay to drastic changes and upgrades that can really benefit a player.
They can give you all the perks at once, or even allow you to fire a weapon without using up any ammunition. They can be really powerful when used in a timely manner.
Weapon builds are great. They allow players to save a build, which includes attachments and blueprints on a weapon.
This is a horrific
players
optic
to then
on that
set
gun.
that as a zombie build. That means when you're playing a match and you access a weapon via a wall buy or the mystery box, you'll get that zombie build in the game.
It's at its core a mode that we love, and we just want to continue to push it in new directions to keep it fresh and exciting, but at the same time making sure it's delivering on all the big elements that are core to the DNA of the mode. So we're creating new experiences within that.
Okay, and that's it for that video as well. So I learned something from that video. I learned a couple things, but I'll keep most of them to myself. The one thing I did learn that I will talk about, though, is the gobblegum thing. So he said you can select like 5 gobblegums in the menu before you start the match. And then once you go up to a machine and you buy a gobblegum, and I'm saying gum now, I'm not saying that word again, then it'll be one of the 5 you picked or already had selected in the menus prior to queuing for the match. So that is some clarity on how that works, because I was under the assumption it was just a random gum you would get from the machine. However, what if in the menus I don't have any gums or a pack of gums selected, and then in the game I go up to a machine and buy one? At that point, is it just like I can't interact with it, or it just gives me a new random gum?
I believe it's randomized at that point.
Okay.
That's what I'm guessing.
So then I would basically want to just constantly not be equipping gums, and then I'd want to like farm for random gums to get the 5 most insane OP gums possible. And then when I'm ready to go on my Giga run, round 100 push, or round 1000 push, I'd stack like 5 of the most goated gums in a pack, equip them, and then go into the match, basically. Which I guess is fine. Just kind of weird. You know? I don't know.
Yeah, I guess that's how it's going to work. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, yeah, how big is your inventory for storing them?
I think it's like basically unlimited out of game. Like not the inventory you can bring into a match. I think that's limited to 5. But I mean like beyond that, I think it's like unlimited. Like the pool from which you can put 5, you know? I think that's unlimited.
Huh.
I can't imagine it's not, because they would want people to be able to buy 1,000 gums at once if they want to, you know? And then just only be able to select 5 at a time.
I guess. Yeah. That. It just seems weird. People could literally have so many of them. But yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I did pause here on the augments to see if there's anything interesting.
Yeah. I actually wanted to do that too. I forgot. Yeah. What time? Here we go. Okay. 24 seconds is one of them. Yeah.
And then 23 the other.
So yeah, here, augment inventory. Here's a screenshot of the minor augments. They're orange. Pre-release image. Final product may vary.
Shut up.
And we don't know what these are augments for, but yes, we do. It's for the energy mine. So here are 3 minor augments. You can pick one of them for the energy mine. High capacity increases max charges by 1. Okay, that seems really good for zombies, actually. Especially for a minor augment, because you could pair this with a good major augment, and then you just get twice as many uses out of it. That seems actually insane for zombies specifically. Another one is frequency boost, increased detonation count or duration of the energy mine. And I'm assuming it says count or duration because depending on which major augment you have, either the count will be relevant and the duration won't be, or the duration will be relevant and the count won't be. I'm assuming that's why it says it that way. And then the last minor augment, so this is the last of the 3, you can only pick one, is Siren. Energy Mine now attracts nearby normal zombies for 5 seconds. Terrible. So yeah, like here, for example, for Energy Mine, I'm every single time picking high capacity, and it's not even close. That is so much better than the other ones. Like, it's so good. You have double the amount of uses of your field upgrade. Like, that's insane. And you can just always keep it on cooldown also, but still have one in reserve. So like if you only have one charge, like it's even, in other words, it's even better than being increased or reduced cooldown time by 50%. You might think that's the same thing because you could use it just as often if that were true, but that would actually be worse than having an extra max charge, because then once you use it, you don't have one in your back pocket anymore. Like even if the cooldown is reduced by 50%. Whereas if it has 2 max charges, you can kind of like waste one a lot. Like, okay, I'll use one here. There's a lot of zombies. I don't need to, but I can. And then you'd still have one in your back pocket while having your second on cooldown. So you're getting that recharge time back. And then you still keep one as like an oh shoot button. Really good, actually. And then when we look at the major augments you could pair that with, let me see. There's a screenshot of the major ones. Yeah, okay, at 22. So this is for the energy mines as well. So here, one of the 3 major augments, Carousel. 3 energy mines will float around you, detonating once an enemy is within the base trigger radius. So we actually saw gameplay of that, and Dread's guy was talking about it. Another one is Scatter Mine. The mine splits into 3 that scatter and detonate 1 time each. Okay. And then Spire. Instead of detonating, the energy mine becomes a turret, shooting targets 1 at a time. Interesting. So these all sound pretty good. And I don't know what I would pick because it would depend on like how good Spire is, basically. Because a turret sounds like it could be insane or terrible, depending on how long it lasts, if it has like a health pool or not, how much damage it does, what its fire rate is, etc.
Yeah,
but yeah.
The interaction between minor and major seems weird. So it's like you could select the minor augment of energy mine now attracts nearby normal zombies for 5 seconds. Okay. But what if you combine that with the major augment, which is instead of detonating, it becomes a turret? Well, if it's a turret, it's already auto-locking onto people, so why does it matter if people come closer to it?
Yeah, so that would just be a bad choice.
So that's basically what I'm saying, but I wonder if there are going to be a bunch of categories where it's kind of like that, where just they don't make sense, because you're right. I mean, having 2 of them, period, I'm trying to think if they mean something else by charge, because it just seems weird. It's like that would just be the best. That would be better than the major augments. Just having 2 of them, like what? It seems so much better than everything else that I feel like they almost mean something else because it's just so outrageous.
Yeah, but also
like, hey, would you rather have your
perk 1 slot? You know?
Yeah, it's like
I agree.
Increase the duration of the energy mine. So cool. Your 1 energy mine lasts an extra 2 seconds, or you can just have 2 entire energy mines. Like what?
Yeah, I know.
It doesn't make sense.
2 energy mines that the major augment applies to. That's why that's so busted. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That I agree with you 100%. I agree with you 100%.
Okay, man.
Yeah, but I mean, I believe it because yeah, like again, this is Activision devs we're talking about. And yeah, like some of the strongest perks in Warzone right now are in the weakest, supposedly the weakest perk category slot, which is perk 1. Sleight of hand, EOD, double time. Like, you know, and then perk 3 slot is better than perk 4 slot. Like I'm taking quick fix over anything in perk 4, for example. So like, yeah, I see what you're saying. Anyway, those are some examples of augments. So yeah, I guess we learned that as well, with a little pausing there. But
yeah,
still
okay,
sounds cool though.
Yeah, no. It sounds cool. I'm just wondering if there are going to be a bunch of just, I guess, options that are just so bad that it's like, okay, cool, I have 3 options, but one of them is obviously the best. Like Jackson, would make sense to pair the duration one with a turret. True, but you could also just have 2 turrets, which is just better.
which is double duration, by the way.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Instead of more duration, it's double duration. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say when I saw that minor augment. I was like, this is just way better. It has to be. Like, there's no way it isn't. There probably will be some other augments that trivialize the other choices for sure. But
yeah,
you know, that's not, I wasn't expecting that to not be the case, basically. And also, like you pointed out, there will be some augment combos that are just bad, and some augment combos that have like amazing synergy as well. I don't think anything here is like super amazing synergy if you combine two very specific augments necessarily. I think there will be field upgrades for which that is true though, or perks or ammo mods potential. Probably not ammo mods, but perks or augments. I think there will be some things where it's like, this minor augment isn't really that good. This major augment also isn't really that good. But if and only if you use exactly those two together, they are greater than the sum of their parts. And I think that, if true, which I think is pretty likely with how many augments and perks there are, is cool.
Yeah.
That's a cool little interaction, you know? So,
yeah.
And then also another thing to think about is like you were saying, one of the minor augments is it attracts the, let's see, Siren. Energy Mine now attracts nearby normal zombies for 5 seconds. That does have some synergy with like two of the major augments, but it probably has even better synergy with your friend's field upgrade that's a different field upgrade with different augments. So like, what if you had, I don't know, like the Cum Goblin trap or whatever, and it didn't have an attracting zombies augment available to it, but it had like giga damage and a gravity well as augments. So you use those, and then I use Siren on my stupid energy mine, and I throw down the energy mine, and I tell you I'm throwing it down, and you put down your Cum Goblin on my energy mine, and then that synergy goes bonkers. That is gonna be possible too, and that'll be really cool, I think. Not only synergies between minor and major augments for one individual, but synergies between two individuals' field upgrades contingent on what augments they choose. And that's kind of what they were trying to say in the blog post is, oh, my alerts are messed up. Damn it. Nicole, augment this. 19 months. Friend of the pod. Thank you very much, Nicole. We appreciate it and welcome back. That is like what they were trying to say in the blog post is like, not only does this system, it has like trade-offs, pros and cons, but you can also do cool synergies. And like already I'm starting to see even more that's going to be possible. So I think this is really cool. Yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah. Only other thing I learned from that video, game devs are goofy, man.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that too much, but they're pretty goofy. Yeah,
it almost makes me uncomfortable, but we'll move on.
It makes me pretty, So anyway, but yeah, that'll be cool. Okay, had to write something down. All right, so yeah. But yeah, those were the two videos. Now that we've gotten them randomly, I suspect we're going to be getting more and more of those up until COD Next. I don't know if we'll be getting them every 2 days, but that has been the schedule. We got the first one on the 13th, the second one today on the 15th. Maybe that trend will continue. Maybe it'll slow down. Maybe it'll speed up. And it'll end by COD Next for sure. And hopefully that does continue because not too much to be learned in each video, individually, but there was something. And it's just nice to see more gameplay POE, gets you more excited about it. Like seeing them eat the security guard and then like lock onto you, that was cool. Feels like you're in an episode of The Walking Dead, sorta. Because it does feel like the devs were saying in that it's a lived in world or whatever, and you're just kind of there. It's not like made for you or something. And that's what you want from a video game or from this type of, game mode. So I think that's cool. But anyway, Beyond that, a couple other little news items, although not too much else to really get into here. Oh, do we have that mod in here? I'm going to write it down.
The little H thing?
Whatever was shut down. Yeah, we'll get into that at the end. But anyways, yeah, so also, I didn't know about this. I don't know when this was announced, because I feel like it must have been announced way longer ago, and I just missed it. But at Gamescom Opening Night Live, we are going to get a first look at BO6 campaign gameplay. Did you know about this? Like, when was this announced?
I think it was announced on August 9th when Charlie Intel tweeted this. I'm not sure. Okay. Yeah, I don't.
I feel like it must have been.
What day was this? August 9th. What day was that? It was last Friday. Huh. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not really super interesting anymore. Maybe that's also why, since the entire game has now been leaked and there are hours of footage online. Maybe we're just not hearing as much about like campaign gameplay. We're going to see the gameplay. We've already seen it. So it's like, I don't even care to watch this because I've seen everything.
Yeah, that's
plus more than we'll see from this.
That's probably true. Yeah. Because normally we get quite excited about campaign gameplay only because that is usually the first time we get to see any gameplay of the new video game. Because basically what happens is a new COD gets announced, and then the next thing you see is a cinematic trailer to get you hyped up. So it'll be a bunch of like cutscenes and really cool action sequences and have a bunch of lore tidbits for those folks. And then the thing but no gameplay yet. And then the next thing you'll see after that would be campaign gameplay. And that's your first look at anything related to actually playing the game. So your first look at the UI, your first look at the guns, what attachments, what guns there are in the game, how the recoil looks, how the visual recoil looks, how the speed looks, how the animations look, how the reload looks, how the reload sounds, how the guns sound, all of that. You get your first look at it with the campaign gameplay. And so it's not a perfect representation of what you can expect for that game's multiplayer or especially for its Warzone integration, but it is pretty close to like what multiplayer will look like. So we historically have gotten quite excited about seeing that. And in this case, like Tanner said, we've already seen a ton of actual multiplayer gameplay leaked.
Yeah.
So now, what else is there that we're going to learn from watching campaign gameplay? Not much I care about. So we will learn some new things, though. We're definitely going to see guns that we haven't seen yet. So people that care about what name the full auto AR has are going to get real excited because someone's going to be using an ACR and everyone's going to cum their pants. So that'll be something. Maybe some new attachment types. Kind of doubt that. You're not going to see new movement tech. You'll see probably new lore info. So that's cool, I guess.
Yeah.
You might get a hint at what other maps are coming to multiplayer if you're in a campaign mission that's like taking place on what's obviously a remastered multiplayer map. So for example, if some of the campaign gameplay takes place at a mansion and they're in the like garage, and you're like, oh, this is a remake of Raid, but it's a campaign mission. Okay, well, maybe we're getting Raid as a remastered multiplayer map, for example.
Yeah.
But like, even that's like that's pushing it. That's probably not happening. So.
But even then, all the entire map list has also been leaked. The entire gun list has been leaked. Yeah, that's also true. This is basically only for people who are into the campaign and lore, yeah. Because even like the gameplay, it's going to be some Treyarch dev walking, spinning around all slow, so you can
motion blur, so you can view minimum FOV.
So you can view the environment, things like that. Meanwhile, we've seen literal leaked multiplayer gameplay from guys using Omni movement to jump across hallways sideways, well ADSing and also killing somebody with a shotgun. So I'm not going to learn anything from it, but yeah, if you're into the campaign and lore, this will be cool.
Yeah. Honestly, you're probably right. I will, of course, be watching it, but
yeah. We'll talk about it.
And we all will. And maybe there's something we're not thinking of, but the point is, this is going to be. There's a lot less to learn this year than there was like last year from the campaign gameplay, basically. So we'll get into that next week, of course. And then
get into this.
Got it. He opens his butt. Charles Intelligence also tweeted this today. Call of Duty Black Ops 6 beta will in fact be available for preload on August 28th, which is, I believe, the day the beta goes live, which is not. Beta will begin August 30th, which is what I said, at 10 a.m. Pacific time for those who have pre-ordered the game at any version of the game, by the way, or subscribe to Game Pass, Xbox Game Pass. Make sure you install the Season 5 Reloaded update on the 21st for a smaller download on the 28th. Okay, so that was a weird last sentence, which implies that the BO6 beta is taking place on the same client or executable as MW3.
Well, why don't you do this?
Download Season 5 Reloaded before you can download the beta.
Why don't we do this one little trick? Hit that link right below and let's start going through it, because it talks about all of this.
Okay, so yeah,
I have not read it yet. This is what they released a few hours ago.
Okay, I will say one thing is I'm glad we are able to preload the beta, especially for like Australians who have terrible internet. That's cool. You'll get 2 days, so you'll be about halfway done by the time the beta goes live. So now the next thing we're going to go over is this blog post, and I guess this is related. This also came out today. Optimizing the COD experience, a roadmap to BO6 launch. So I have not read this.
Look at that UI, buddy. You like this UI there?
I do like the UI.
Little sneak peek.
Yeah, here's a little sneak peek. So I have not read this, although I've read some people in our Discord being very excited about this. This is basically about the UI not being dog shit anymore, starting in BO6, which I'm all for. I think that's a very good thing. Does it need its own blog post, though? Probably not. Just make
Shut
it
up
better.
and read. It's not all about that. Shut up and read. Okay. So we're going to start skimming through this. As we look ahead to Black Ops 6, we've been working on ways to improve COD. Shut up. We've heard your feedback, and along with our own testing and learnings, have worked to optimize the way players access and download Call of Duty. Wow. This begins by revamping the experience formerly known as Call of Duty HQ.
Lasted 2 years, by the way. Not quite 2 years, actually. COD HQ.
Keep reading. Yeah. It still exists. It says they're revamping it. It still exists. Read.
Got it. Moving forward, as a result of upcoming changes, players will have a new streamlined interface, direct access to games, more control over your downloads, including Warzone content, and expanded streaming technology to reduce file sizes. There's a lot of yapping, so let's... These changes
what the hell could that mean, by the way? More control over your downloads, including Warzone content?
It means not.
What am I going to not? Am I going to be able to uninstall Resurgence from my computer and like only have VR? What the hell does that mean?
Yeah, very good questions. I don't know, so maybe we'll learn. These changes will be rolled out in phases as a series of downloads. Got it. After these larger initial updates, future downloads will decrease in size and existing files will take up less space on your device. I was under the assumption they had been in the process of doing this already, but okay.
They have been with updates. Yeah, they've been making everything smaller, but this is supposed to make a big difference, so they say.
Okay. As a thanks, I've got it. For your patience, we're gifting all players with in-game consumables, which will be delivered when you first log into COD after Season 5 Reloaded. Okay. The road to a smoother COD experience. So they put out a roadmap for a UI update, which actually pisses me off. But here we go. August 21st, reorganizing game content. The first big update, part of the Season 5 Reloaded rollout. New tech and a reorganization of data to prepare for BO6 beta and launch. And then on the 30th is the open beta.
Wait, is Reloaded already next week?
Oh, yeah, I guess it is.
Is it really?
Yeah. Oh, no, probably not. This is part of the rollout. So I think this is like preparing for it.
Okay, I think the Reloaded update is actually the day of COD next, maybe, or that week. It's like the 27th.
Yeah, I don't think it's next week. I don't think it's next week.
Okay, yeah, I was like, that seems way too soon.
Stupid idiot. In mid-October is a new UI. So we're getting a new UI mid-October. No date provided. Final preparation for VO6 launch. Introduction to the new UI and remaining updates as we head into launch. Okay. And then we're back to precise dates again. Got it. October 25th, BO6 launch. And then a redacted date, Season 1. Both BO6 and Warzone are playable via instant launch from the landing page. Okay.
Yeah, a lot less menus what it's supposed to be. No more clicking on Warzone and then clicking on Resurgence, but then Smile, when you click on Resurgence, then if you scroll, you can still find Battle Royale. But if you click on Resurgence, it won't take you to Ranked Play Resurgence. You have to click on Warzone Featured, and then that'll take you to Ranked Play Resurgence. It's a disaster. It's a complete disaster, and it was created by Infinity Ward, and now, of course, it's being completely revamped.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. Shocker. Infinity Ward. Treyarch has to waste how much time and effort cleaning up an IDub mess? I mean, they're a scourge on the Call of Duty community and other development teams. Excise them. And by the way, I want to do this now. I want to take the time before we finish this blog post to scroll all the way back up to the top. We do get a preview of what this streamlined UI looks like. And I have a couple notes. So number one, we're looking at the preview of the new UI. One of the buttons is BO6. One of the buttons is MW3. One of the buttons is Warzone. Okay. So we're once again going back to Warzone, it looks like, being a separate client than BO6 and or multiplayer. And honestly, I'm fine with this. Although this is what we used to have, and it seemed like people were mad about it. And
no,
now,
it's the same thing we have now. It's just a different UI. It's just you launch Call of Duty on Battle.net or whatever, and it opens up this page. When you click multiplayer or Warzone, it doesn't cross-launch anything. That's the whole point of Call of Duty HQ.
I understand.
There's also a 15-second clip further down that we can play that shows them just clicking through and showing the UI for a second.
Okay.
So we'll talk about it when we get there.
So also below that are some smaller buttons. There's a last played option. So it shows whatever playlist you last played. I really like that. I think that is a really good thing to always have on the front page when I launch the game. Because a lot of people play one thing and one thing only. So they're just going to be spamming that button. That's a good button to have. Or if their game crashes, which it will a lot because it's Call of Duty, I can just auto go to that button and it'll be whatever I was just playing. So that's really good. And if that button does exist right now, I don't know where it is.
It does exist, yeah. I don't know how to get to it. I think it's under the featured tab. I think when you go to featured, it'll tell you what your last played was.
Yeah.
And it also has the same thing here, which is the what's hot. It's the same thing. It's just under featured. But this also, so again, you have to click on Warzone, then you have to click on featured to see these. Whereas this, you'll launch Call of Duty. It's just on the main menu. You click on it, it gets you straight into it.
Which is
so
much
you'll
better.
be going through like 2 or 3 less menus by the looks of it.
Yeah. And then, and then next to last played is the what's hot section. Delete all of it. I don't want to know what's hot. I don't care. Put this should be like LTMs maybe, but not what's hot. I'm not playing what's hot. I know what I want to play.
Plunder.
Well, it's not plunder. That's not what's hot. But I hate the suggested playlist bullshit. I don't want it. But overall, this is a massive improvement already. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Way fewer menus.
It's a massive W, as they say.
So let's go back to the blog post here. Implementing these changes will require a series of updates to reorganize game files and deploy a redesigned UI. Following these updates and optimizations, future download sizes will decrease. BO6 will be a smaller download than MW3 at launch. Well, yeah, MW3 has a lot more content now than BO6 will at launch, duh. But I see what they're trying to go for. But it's just disingenuous because it's written by an Activision employee.
Wait, aren't they saying BO6, when it launches, will be a smaller download than MW3 was when it launched?
It's possible that's what they meant.
That's what I'm assuming they mean, yeah.
That is definitely what they meant, which is what I said.
Yeah.
So
a lot of this, we just need to scroll right on past. Most of it's not that interesting, or it's just rehashing exactly what they've said.
Yeah, this is just them. Yeah, they bullet pointed what we already read. We appreciate and thank the community. You guys don't appreciate the community. Setting the stage, the first big update. So now they're going into more details on each of these little roadmap items, starting with the August 21st one. The first big update, part of the Season 5 Reloaded rollout, new tech, and a reorganization of data. So basically it's saying on August 21st, you're going to have a big old patch, but even though you're not getting anything new, it's just them like shuffling around your hard drive space. So yeah, that's a huge shuffle this. So don't care. Separating Warzone from the default download for annual titles. I want to read this because I don't really know what this entails. To give players more control over what they're downloading, we are decoupling the download of Warzone from other titles. When you purchase an annual title, you will only download the files for that game by default. On the free-to-play side, players can opt in to get Warzone when they're downloading a new annual title, or simply download it separately at any point in time. The choice is yours. Okay, so this is relevant for people who don't have like 8 terabytes of hard drive space, which I do. And I guess that's cool. But I don't really care. And I don't think most of you listening, I don't think you guys really care either. I don't think most people that are like hardcore gamers are really this limited in hard drive space, but maybe you are, or maybe you care about that. So there you go. Expanded texture streaming technologies. In part of an ongoing effort to reduce file and download size, we're expanding our usage of texture streaming, starting with the Season 5 Reloaded update. With these capabilities, we can cycle content that is less frequently used by players to a streaming cache, avoiding the need to download it directly to your device's storage. Going forward, more content will be included in this cache. Okay, I'm going to keep reading and then I'm going to talk about this. With this change, you may see older content that briefly appears at a lower quality until the streaming cache is fully loaded. The resolution of content streamed from the cache will depend on what setting you select for this feature. To capture this change and give players more control over their content streaming experience, we are updating the current on-demand texture streaming setting to on-demand high-quality streaming and offering 2 options: optimized, which is the default, or minimal. Okay, so my understanding of computers and stuff is that if you have textures, assets, so like bushes and trees, for example, those are textures. Right now in Warzone, when you walk into whatever cargo and there's like a tree outside the fence, that tree is being rendered directly from where that texture sits in your hard drive. So all that's needed to do that is your RAM and your CPU and your hard drive, and it just pulls it and then shows it. Okay. And then draws it. If you are going to be streaming that texture instead, I'm assuming you're going to download a super low quality texture of that tree to your hard drive, and it will show that while it waits for the high quality texture, the normal looking tree, to be streamed to your game via your internet connection, and then it will draw it that way. But that's also going to maybe be storing it in your GPU cache. So you're going to be more reliant on your internet connection, I think, and GPU memory cache. So ultimately, not sure if this is going to be a big deal at all or not, but it's almost certainly going to be more demanding of your system than what we have now. Because it doesn't get easier than just showing something that's already on your hard drive. Because now we're using the internet and we're using, caches from your GPU. So, again, for most of you listening, this probably doesn't matter. If you have a next-gen console, it's going to be able to do this fine. If you have a high-end PC, you're also going to be able to do this fine. If you have an extremely high-end PC like I do, you won't notice, obviously. But for casuals, this might be relevant. I don't know. someone more tech savvy than me would know more about this, but the reason they're doing this is so they don't have to store every texture in high quality on your hard drive. That reduces the storage space, as far as I understand. So
sounds right.
We'll see if there are any issues with this. I doubt it. Obviously, they know more about this than I do, and they've thought about it, but we'll see. But if you have a bad system, you might want to get a little worried. I don't know. Anyway, download sizes and experience is the next section. This is where you come in, it says. The process begins with a download, a big one. Okay, man. But downloading now will pave the way over the next several weeks and ultimately lead to a better experience when BO6 arrives. I like how they're describing this like you're going in for like open heart surgery, but don't worry, it'll be worth it in the end. Let's relax, dude. I'll put up with it. It's a download. I'll figure it out. It's not that serious. They're making it sound so serious. Like, I'm sorry, guys. Really, I'm sorry. We're gonna have to do one more big download. Chill, bro. It's fine. But anyway.
Yeah.
I'm not reading the rest of this. It's all, the update is reorganizing game files and adding new tech to prep the way for the blah, blah, blah. Thank you for bearing with us during this update. It continues. Free community pack of 10 hours, it looks like, of double XP, weapon XP, and battle
That's
pass
fantastic going
XP.
into BO6, by the way. To have just 10 free hours for just downloading the update. Okay, man, true. I'll take it. Cool.
Yeah, that's a great point. I'm glad you pointed it out because I wouldn't have thought of that. Log in after August 21st. I don't know when they'll stop giving these tokens, but to be safe, do it like on the 21st or 22nd or something, or like before the beta would be a good assumption. Between the 21st and the 30th of August, you should log in, you should update your game and then launch it so that you get a free 10 hours of player XP, weapon XP, and then 10 battle pass tier skips. And then you should also absolutely not use them. And I'll say this now, start saving all your tokens now, starting now. Because the tokens for double XP, double weapon XP, all that will carry forward to BO6. And I would much rather have double weapon XP tokens on the new game than burning an hour leveling up some season 6 new gun that I don't really care about. And that I will be getting max level anyway, but I'm in no rush to. Start saving your tokens, all of them now, for the launch of the next game. Yeah. And you can get a huge head start by getting these 3. Yeah.
It does say right here from the start of season 5, and then it says August 21st, so it is next week. Interesting.
Yeah, it is. I guess you're right. Yeah.
Which is what we had said earlier. Which
is what we've been saying this whole time.
What a bad decision. They're doing the season 5 reloaded update the day after Tarkov wipes. Oh my god, it's gonna be such a dead season update. Nobody's gonna be playing that, man. Everyone's gonna be on Tarkov. Are they stupid? Okay. They're the stupid idiots, not me, man.
Bro's so excited to be...
Stop farting, bro. I like it more when you talk about it than when you just ignore it. It's more weird when you ignore it. I don't like it. I'm really just not a fan. Shut up. So moving on, Black Ops 6 betas on the 30th. Okay. Don't care. They talk about Omni movement for the literal 1000th time, probably. That's the only new thing with the game. I get it. Shut up, though. So it exists. The beta's coming. That's cool. New user interface. Oh, here, go to the new user interface.
Well, hold on. With the beta, players will be able to preload BO6 beta content starting August 28th. The fastest way to jump into the beta immediately is to download the Season 5 Reloaded update and preload the beta content before the 30th. So
you have to update the game in order to pre-download the beta?
You have to be on an updated version of MW 3, I guess, to be able to play the beta. So if you
to preload it early, to do the early preload. Otherwise, you can just download the beta, right?
I'm assuming that's not the case because I don't. Although maybe that's what they're saying.
The fastest way to jump into the beta immediately is to download the Season 5 Reloaded update and preload the beta content before the 30th. Because they're saying if you do it that way, you get it the 28th. If not, then you just download the beta on the 30th.
Huh. Okay.
That's for sure what it means.
I don't know about for sure. I don't know what
it means.
Why do you have to download the Season 5 Reloaded update at all then? Why is it faster
to preload it? Because it's all packed in. Well, because you can preload it that way. I don't know, because that's the whole point of this stupid thing, is they're talking about all the weird updates they're gonna have.
But why can't I preload the beta content without preloading Season 5 Reloaded if I can just preload the beta content, or load the beta content only, install that once the beta's out? It doesn't make any sense.
Maybe they're just, I guess from their point of view, they're just not allowing preloads for people unless you own the current game. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, this is unclear, so I don't know either. But to me, it sounds like you're gonna have to have Season 5 Reloaded downloaded, regardless of whether you preload it or not, which is a weird choice. But whatever. Yeah, if you guys can make more sense of this than we can, then God bless you. But yeah, after the beta's over, beta content will automatically be removed during the Season 6 update. So that is cool.
To do that.
Yeah, because it was dumb that I had to like manually do it. Yeah, like I had the beta installed for MW19 like 8 months after launch, and I didn't even know it until like randomly I went in there or something.
Bro, launched the beta. I'm wondering why the game's dead. Yeah. So it says right here, estimated download sizes for the BO6 beta. So on PlayStation 5, for example, if you have the Season 5 Reloaded update, your beta install size will be 34 gigs. If you don't have Call of Duty installed and you have to install Call of Duty / the beta, it's 80 gigs.
Yes.
That's what they're doing. That's the thing.
I see. So BO6 is going to be using a lot of data that's already in the Season 5 Reloaded update.
I guess so, yeah. Because it's how I guess this is all like the COD HQ. This is why they wanted to do it unified. They can push updates this way.
Yeah. So, by the way, estimated download sizes for the BO6 beta on a PlayStation 5 is 80 gigabytes for just a beta. That's a lot, dude. That's still pretty big. For a beta? Like a multiplayer beta? It's a lot of gigabytes. And again, like you said, I don't care. I have 8 terabytes. I can do 80 times a lot, a number that I for sure know. But still, it's a lot. So anyway, regardless. New UI coming mid-October is the next section. Get your hands on the improved menu and navigation experience, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so yeah, we have a little GIF here of the new UI.
Oh, so this comes right before the BO6 launch. Interesting. So they're updating the UI before we actually get BO6.
Yeah, it's looking that way. So I'm gonna play this little 15-second GIF here. So we're clicking around. It looks much better. Yeah.
Okay, so so when he clicks on BO6 there, for example, or she, whoever does that click, do you think that's really how fast it's opening? Because that's instantaneous, which I'm a big fan of.
Honestly, no, because watch.
Because then you get to find the match and you're right in there.
She clicks find a match and there's not even a loading screen. No shot, that's true. No shot.
So obviously the multiplayer part is skipped forward. That's what makes me think the menu part is also skipped or something.
I think you're right. Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Got it.
Still better though. It is demonstrating how many menus you'll have to go through, which is not nearly as many. So if I wanted to play multiplayer, you press, 3 buttons. Although even, I'm going to pause it actually once after clicking multiplayer in BO6. Okay. So the next button that we click here is find a match. Find a match for what? Is this just a find a match, just put me in anything button? Take that out of the game. Or is there some filter somewhere for what modes you have that I'm not seeing?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's something for sure, yeah.
Oh, this might be for the beta, actually, because you might not be able to select what game mode you want in the beta. So when you press find a match, it literally will just put you in any match, because the only things they're testing are like hardpoint and DOM or something, or TDM, So maybe that's what this is. I don't know. But yeah, looks good. I like the little operator here we got, by the way. The little lobby screen. Because if that's your own operator, that's pretty cool because you'll be able to see like a bunch of cool angles of your own op in the pregame lobbies. I like that.
Yeah.
Why do you hate it, man?
The operator?
Oh, you just mean the operator itself.
I'm just talking about the actual operator, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I hate the charging handle, or the carry handle rather, on the M4.
Yeah, that's an old M16, yep.
Let's stop doing that, yeah. So anyway.
Yeah, glad we moved on from that.
The new UI will introduce a landing zone, lots of words, and big words. Okay. Before the launch of BO6 mid-October. Initially, there will be a transition period where the new landing page goes live before BO6 launches. During this time, MW3 and Warzone will be the featured titles, and players will need to cross-launch into each of those games. Okay. Well, does that imply 2 clients? Because we're saying the word cross-launch.
Yeah, we sure are, huh?
Are we going back to that?
Well, or is it by cross launch, they just mean you can launch both games from the one thing? I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, we'll see.
I mean, there's no way it's going to exit out and then relaunch something. I mean, it doesn't even do that now. Yeah, there's no way that's happening.
But it did do that before, so
it did
I don't
before,
know.
Yep.
I don't know. But yeah, a little weird. So anyway, moving on from there, BO6 launch October 25th. When BO6 launches, it'll replace MW3, making BO6 and Warzone the featured titles. Players will be able to instantly launch BO6 and cross-launch into Warzone. Okay. So yeah, we'll see what cross-launch means in this context. And then Season 1, Redacted. At Season 1, BO6 and Warzone will remain the featured titles, but players will be able to instantly launch into both BO6 and Warzone. We will follow up with the associated download sizes for this update and more details. Okay, so cross-launch does mean what we think it means in this context, meaning it will exit the game and then launch another game. But that's only going to be taking place until Season 1 of BO6, and then we're done with the cross-launch bullshit again. That's why they wrote cross-launch. So.
Oh, yeah, because that's
that
okay.
Sense.
Yeah, because there will be a transition period when the new landing page goes live before BO6 launches. So it's the new landing page, but BO6 isn't out. So then you're going to have to cross-launch MW3 and Warzone. I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we've got it.
And I'm fine with this, by the way. Cross-launching is cringe, obviously, because it takes forever. But it's obviously very temporary. I can wait until Season 1 of BO6, because that's going to be, November? Like 14th or something. That'll be fine. I'm totally okay with that. So, and then you'll have to cross launch into MW3 from there, because BO6 is going to be like the undergirding for the Warzone client, I guess. So you won't have to cross launch between BO6 and Warzone. Okay, cool. That makes sense. Yeah. All right. And then BO6 download sizes. As a result, BO6 will be a smaller download at launch than MW3. Since we're still in development and in the process of final optimizations, it's too soon to share file download sizes yet, but they plan to have final specs in October, which is also when the game launches, by the way. Got it. Thanks. They'll share them as soon as they have them. Okay. Here's another look at the main menu. We can see multiplayer, zombies and single player, which is a weird bright campaign there.
You know what? I think I'm making the executive decision. We're playing zombies launch night. I don't want to play multiplayer launch night. I don't. I want to play zombies.
Cope had a great idea, by the way.
Did he? Cope had a good idea. That's a first. What was that?
It's literally the first time he's ever done it. And he said, it's this simple. As soon as BO6 launches, Sundays are zombies only day. Because those are the sweatiest days of Call of Duty Warzone. The absolute sweatiest. And he's like, we're going to relax. We're going to have an afternoon beer, a little Spro Mart, and vibe at zombies and not rage.
Mart Spro, huh?
And I said, you know what? That's a great idea.
Is that Sundays are for resting because it is the Sabbath. So if anything, Sundays should be for rest. And
I wish I had a fart chamber right now. God, I wish I had one.
You should have a little.
I just fart all over that idea or that
chamber. Yeah. Anyways, starting in BO6, games will have their own individual user interfaces designed to easily get players into the modes and content they want to play. Shut up, which was the last played thing. Shut up. And Yeah, shut up. Okay.
A lot of yapping, yeah. So then there's an FAQ. Why are COD titles being delivered in a single location? I don't care. Let's see. What is the size of the download for BO6? Earlier reports suggested that it could be a 300 gig download. Is that true? I assumed they were going to say, we can't share that yet, but it's not that big, but they don't even say that. So yeah, maybe it will be approaching that. I don't know. That would be crazy. But again, just the beta's 80 gigs. It's not going to be 300 though. No shot. Because even the beta is going to have a lot of the data in it. Because a lot of the data is just the guns and the, like, you know, mechanics and stuff. So anyway, and then additional intel, and that's pretty much it. So yeah. So that's cool. Good info there. Nothing very exciting, honestly, but it's good to know what's going on. I know I was clowning on the fact that they did a whole blog post for a UI update, but I am glad they did, obviously. I mean, ideally, I'd like a blog post for every single update they do, because the more communication they have, the better. Whether I deem it, you know, requiring a blog post or not, I'd rather have too many blog posts than not enough. So, you know, this is cool. And this is good to know. But yeah, not super exciting. And then the last tiny little miniature item.
Hold on, we have some more breaking news. That's related to the COD first. Coming from Charlie Intel, which yapped it from Robert Network UK, Bob Network UK. This is what they're saying. Verdansk's return for Warzone may only happen after Season 2 of Black Ops 6 Warzone in 2025, as Raven Software are apparently behind on the project, causing a potential delay in its release. Yeah, so I swear every time we hear more news about Verdansk, it's seeming to be worse and worse. It just, they keep saying things about how it's being delayed, or this is happening, or that. And like when you open up the tweet, great first question from Ice Man Isaac. How are they behind on a map that was made 4 years ago? Hey, got it. Especially considering Urzikstan has only received Superstore and a hole in pop-off for 10 months. Based, real, and true, Isaac. Yeah, I agree. And to that, Charlie Intel says, I don't think it's going to be a one-to-one return of the map based on rumors. So it will be Verdansk, and it will be changed a lot, and people will hate it because it's not exactly the same. Yeah, so, wow. I wonder if we just never get it, man. Because the issue with this is that, don't forget, we're going to have Urzikstan until we get this, supposedly. That's what they're saying. So if they're behind on this and it gets delayed till, I don't know, next May, you're playing Urzikstan until next May, guys. Hate to break it to you. Not the worst map in the world, but I know most people don't love it. I think it's fine. But yeah, things are not looking great. Yeah. Things are just not looking great, unfortunately.
Yeah, you know, doesn't surprise me one bit, though, because we have not heard anything official that even remotely sniffs at a hint of Verdansk coming back. The only things we've ever heard about this are from leakers, like 100% of it. So not that surprised that it's like behind, or maybe, you know, whatever, never happening. I don't know, man. But even if we get Verdansk in Season 2 of BO6, okay, so we have Urzikstan until then. What about that other big map with all the water that we are scared of? Where does that fit into the picture?
Yeah.
Because that was in official comms. So we'll probably know more about where that map, whatever it is, fits in at COD next. And if we're getting Verdansk back, I'd be surprised if we don't hear about it at COD next. Even if it isn't until Season 2. Because it would be weird to say, like, oh, by the way, you know, Warzone integration's happening, Omni movement's coming to Warzone, we're going to get ranked Warzone, big map, and, oh, we're just going to be on Urzikstan until further notice. Like, that doesn't seem likely. They're going to talk about what map is next, what big map is next. So we'll know a lot more about, I think, Verdansk and the other map by COD Next. Whether that be because they explicitly talk about Verdansk, or if they don't talk about it at all, or if they talk about some other map and don't talk about Verdansk at all. No matter what they say about the next map, that's going to tell us a lot about the state of Verdansk coming back and its timetable. So, wait on that, basically.
And then last thing here, coming from Bob Network as well, supposedly Infinity Ward's 2026 title is at a standstill. The team is seemingly unhappy with the narrative and current mechanics of their game, and Activision is putting severe pressure on the studio as a whole.
What studio is that for 26?
Infinity Ward, yeah. And then somebody commented about they probably don't like the Omni movement, and they're trying to figure out, what they do with the movement in their game. And Bob Network says, oh yeah, they apparently hate that.
They probably don't like that Warzone also doesn't have any AI or strongholds on it too. So they're probably really mad about that. I hate Infinity Ward so much. God, I hate them so much. Fire the studio, man.
They just can't do it anymore. They're not the same team that they once were.
God, they're not. No.
I mean, back in the day, early CODs, Infinity Ward on top. Yeah, but now those devs are long gone. They're all working on Apex and other games. They're out of there, man. Wrap it up. Time to wrap it up. They don't know what they're doing anymore. They don't know what they're doing, and Sledgehammer and Raven have both stepped up so much. They need to not exist at this point.
Fire Infinity Ward.
It's just unfortunate, as we said during the entire year of Warzone 2 and MW2, when the vast majority of you listening hated the game. They're still a studio because you all spend entirely too much money on bundles, and they still made more money that year than they probably will during MW3. So they're going to look at that and see, oh, the sales were so good. We made so much money that year during the Infinity Ward title because of you guys. So we're going to get another bad game, and just remember, it's because of you for buying all those bundles. It's your fault.
And the Vault Edition pre-order. Yeah, you guys disgust me. That's true. Yeah. I am hoping on that point, by the way, that this game sells really, really well, so that they give Treyarch the attention they desperately need and deserve. Activision, I mean. That would be fantastic. But yeah, we will in fact see. So, speaking of Activision making great decisions, Modern Warfare 2 Remastered had like a mod that was in development for 100 years. It came out today, and also it was shut down by Activision today.
I think it's coming out tomorrow, actually.
Oh, really? So it wasn't even
That's what I had heard, yeah.
Okay, yeah. People were excited about this. I never care about these stupid mod things, but...
yeah, not for me.
But also it got shut down. Do you have any more details on this?
So I know everybody's mad, blah, blah. Let's try to find some tweets here. Isaac said it took Activision 8 years to take legal action against engine owning, but they act immediately against a non-profit, community-driven passion project that requires players to purchase MW2 to play. Am I missing something? So Hexsmith, our little aim assist video buddy, always super based and real and true, says requires players to purchase MW2. And he says, unless I'm missing something, it did not require players to purchase Modern Warfare 2. It only required purchasing Modern Warfare Remastered. So the team were redistributing MW2 campaign remastered assets without permission. Again, I don't know anything about this or the details, but that's what he is saying. And so that, clear, of course, makes total sense.
It does make total sense if that's true. And I believe that it is true. But to be clear, even if it required purchasing MW2 Remastered and MW2 Original and $100 worth of DLC also to be able to play this mod, Activision would shut it down anyway. It doesn't matter. Like, it's not... The reason they shut it down isn't only because it uses assets that players don't have to pay for. Even if it uses only assets players do have to pay for, they would have shut it down anyway. They did it with something else. A couple other games, I think, that we've talked about. Like Plutonium, I think, was one, maybe.
Plutonium was offed, yeah.
Yeah. And that required all the assets. They're going to shut everything down that's not official.
That's what I don't get. Why do these modders keep trying? Like, it doesn't... Like, I think it's wrong and it sucks that Activision does this, but like, what are you expecting at this point? They've proven now over the last year or 2 years, they're going to shut all of it down. I feel bad that these people wasted their time without ever thinking for 1 second, hey, maybe this is going to immediately get shut down by Activision.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if there's any way to easily communicate with these studios, but you would almost think before spending thousands of hours to develop a mod based on another game, maybe you should reach out and be like, hey, we're developing a mod based on your game. Are you going to take legal action against us at some point? Is this okay? Should we just stop now? Before you waste years of your life developing a game that just immediately goes to waste. I don't know. I feel like there are much better and smarter ways to go about this. If you're smart enough to make a modded video game like this, maybe you should think about these things.
You're probably smart enough to write an email or two, yeah. But you don't even have to do that, because you know, like, they're not going to reply to you probably. And if they do,
exactly,
they're going to say no. But you should know that they're going to say no, so don't even bother making the mod. That's my position on this. Like, you know this is going to get shut down. You know it's not going to be allowed, I should say. So I don't know why they did it. But anyway, yeah.
And then
for the two of you who are looking forward to this, sorry. XD.
Yeah.
I'm not sorry.
It's funny, too, because on the mod, their tweet, the top comment was like, all you guys need to do is make your own game exactly how you're going to make COD, because there is a huge... I need to just find it. It's like basically saying there's a huge player base wanting a game like this and you guys will make so much money. I'm like, no, they won't. These games don't last. Look at when COD actually remasters games. They die immediately. Nobody wants to play this shit anymore, man.
Or look at X-Defiant.
Like, you guys think exactly people are going to... Nobody, it doesn't matter how bad BO6 is. You're not playing some random modded COD that's 15 years old more than you are BO6. That person basically does not exist.
True.
I'm trying to find it. I can't find what he said. But it's like, dude, really?
Yeah, it's super dumb.
It's just stupid. Robert
Bowling failed, by the way. For all of you who said, no, it's going to be healthy, it's going to have a good player base, there are people who still play Arcade Sixes games. Wrong. X-Defiant's dead. It's dog shit, trash, boring. 20 years too late. It sucks and it's dead, and I told you so. By the way.
Splitgate 2 will be good, though.
Oh, yeah, surely. Yeah.
What is with, I think it was Jake or something. We were talking one of the days in Cord, and we were like, how come all of the new games, why does it just seem like they all immediately die? Why do all games, are there too many games being made, or just like these big AAA titles just stomping everything right now? Why does every game just die? Nothing makes it.
Yeah, you're actually right.
But yet there are more gamers than ever, but none of these games make it like they used to.
I think it's because there are more gamers than ever, but like the proportion of gamers who are giga casual is also higher than ever. And giga casuals only play the most AAA slop games that there are. So if your game is not like a $3 billion budget with Liam Neeson doing mocap for it, you're not getting anyone, honestly. I think that is what it is. A lot of them just genuinely suck and deserve to fail, to be fair. X-Defiant, for example. Bad game. Not a good game. Insufficiently innovative. Far too boring. The player base has moved on from that type of game. So it was dead in the crib. But like a game like Splitgate, that's kind of like an arcadey shooter, but it also has a, in my opinion, sufficiently unique mechanic with the portal thing where it's a good idea to make that game. So why did it fail? I don't know. I guess
too basic.
Well, yeah, probably insufficiently
it had
deep.
Nothing to it, because what we thought it was really fun for about 5 to 10 hours and then immediate drop off.
Yeah,
most games are fun when you first play them. You start thinking, oh, this is going to be fun. PvE Tarkov, Troll Despair, first 3 raids. Oh, this is going to be fun. Dead by the 4th raid. Miserable dog shit trash. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything seems fun the first time you play it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Another tweet here from Robert Bolin. A lot of the so I think this guy, by the way, is a former Infinity Ward lead dev. Let me see. I gotta look up what he was. I think he worked for Infinity Ward.
So he's an idiot.
No, relax. He was like old school Infinity Ward. He hasn't been there for years and years.
Oh, okay.
So he's the lead of
Did he work on
Dr.
MW19?
Disrespect's game. No, he's been gone for long before that.
Oh, good. Okay.
But so he says, a lot of the original Infinity Ward team consisted of devs who used to be modders. The original Call of Duty PC games released mod tools and server files, to empower community creations to expand on the original vision. Build systems to help your community, not strangle it. So he's obviously disagreeing with Activision doing this. Because, yeah, I mean, that's how it was. Primarily, everything I played in COD 4 and Call of Duty 2, it was all mods. It was not the base game at all. People on PC didn't really play the base game of COD 4, honestly. You played like the mods like Pro Mod or PAM4, which is like the Scrim mod. People made like zombies type mods. There were so many things people did. That was by far way more popular than the base game was on PC. By a lot, too.
Same with Battlefield. Like the modded... I don't know if that would constitute a mod, but like different server rules. Would that be modding?
Well, I mean, one of the games that I had the most hours on ever in video games was Battlefield 2 mod Project Reality, which now a lot of those people have created the game Squad, the standalone. Okay. Project Reality was a total modded game built off of Battlefield 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, if they tried to do that now with Battlefield 2042, I don't think EA would let them do that now either.
Yeah,
I don't really know the reason why studios don't these days, but they just don't, and it's that simple. And modders should just realize that and give up. Give up on your hopes and dreams and get a job, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it does seem that way. So, anyway. Yeah.
Fail. You failed. Give up.
Yeah, give up. And that... If you're an Infinity Ward dev, that especially applies to you. Give up in the grandest, most complete and total sense that you can think of when I say give up. You know what I mean. Hey, you know what I'm talking about. I know you want to. You work at Infinity Ward. Let it go. Give up. Surrender. Doesn't it sound nice? That eternal deep sleep? You could have it. It's not hard. It's super easy.
Just simply go to sleep.
Just do one or two little things. You know, you got a lot of options, and you can just rest forever. Doesn't that sound nice? Doesn't that sound peaceful? If you work at Infinity Ward, I strongly encourage you to do that. And you know what I'm talking about, don't you? Because you think about it every day. For good reason, by the way. You don't deserve to be here. End it.
Yeah.
Anyways. All right! That's it. We will be back on Saturday / next week. Saturday, we're releasing a banger Patreon bonus episode that we've already released to our patrons, who are better people than you if you aren't one. But it was a really fun and exciting episode that's going live on Saturday at the usual time. You can watch the premiere here on YouTube. It'll go live on apps at exactly the same time. It was really good. It was really fun. It was all about Warzone. It was a mixed bag ep. So we talked about Warzone, yeah. A lot of different little Warzone topics, not least of which was comfort over meta. Shout out to Bates and the FSS Hurricane. You'll see what we mean. And other things as well. But it was really fun. That's happening Saturday. And then next week on Tuesday, we will be posting the schedule for the program.
Tuesday, isn't it?
Next week's schedule might be a little different, by the way, because Season 5 Reloaded is happening next week. It looks to be going live on Wednesday, so probably won't be a different schedule after all, actually. But maybe it will be.
Definitely, absolutely will not be, yeah.
It won't be at all.
It'll be literally exactly the same as
It'll be so the same, yeah.
And Hangout will be either next weekend or the one after. August, for sure, yeah.
At a time. So, with that said, we have a couple announcements before we let you go. Got some new patrons. Welcome to our new gold patrons, Nick E. and Peter S. Boys, with the most standard first names I've ever seen. Welcome to the Patreon, gentlemen, We appreciate it.
Nick and Pete, yeah.
Nick and Pete, classic combo. We also got some upgraders, people better than you two. Dirty Nate going from, I think, Platinum to Damascus, an absolute god. Dirty Nate, change your name, but welcome to the Damascus Lounge King. We love you, and it's great to have you here. And also Harps in Leet Speak, year old, who was a Damascus patron, did it for a month and was like, you know what? I like being a Damascus patron so much that I know I'm never going to not want to be a Damascus patron. So I'm going to go annual for the discount. And he's become an annual Damascus patron. Harps, thank you, brother. We appreciate you. Very kind of you. Patreon.com/the Dropshot. Our last Patreon episode, as I said, was that little mixed bag ep that you will hear on Saturday. Little Patreon gone public we do every once in a while. And if you like the Saturday episode this week, by the way, once it comes out, then in that case, you should join the Patreon, because that is exactly the type of episode we do every month for our bonus episodes, multiple of them, in fact. And then follow us on Twitch at the Dropshot Podcast. We're going to be multi-streaming to Twitch very soon. We've taken more steps since the last time we said this to multi-streaming.
Yeah, we took one more step.
We took, well, a couple more steps. One more big step, though. We've renamed Tanner's Twitch account to the Dropshot Podcast, so make sure you go to his channel, our channel now, actually, twitch.tv/the Dropshot Podcast. Give us a follow, turn on noties, because we'll be streaming there and on YouTube soon. And also Twitch Prime subs, save them for my channel, preferably at Razinon on Twitch, or if you insist I split the money, then at the Dropshot Podcast on Twitch. You could do that as well. But either way, save your primes now. And then also
stop subbing to everybody. Save your primes and also save your money in general to give to us.
That's a great, yeah, correct. Yeah. Stop. Yeah, you have no more discretionary spending unless it goes to us, period. True. So keep that in mind as well. And then we also got, I got an offline, speaking of, by the way, Twitch sub, Twitch Prime from Bay. I'm Bay TTV. Change it, obviously, but carry me to iridescent. And also, thank you for the offline Prime. Big, giant dog. That's the kind of stuff we like to see, you know? And you guys should also all do that at our Twitch, the Dropshot Podcast. And last, and certainly not least, Marcus, lots of numbers with the 1999 super chat. Let's absolutely go. And it's, what is that? It's a hippo with a robot arm cock and a rocket hat. Rocket ship hat.
I would say its hippo character stands idle whilst his new and most powerful body attachments do their thing with the word OP in the background. If I had to guess, that's what I would say.
Did it say whilst?
Yes. Yes, it did.
Oh no. Oh no, the description had the word whilst in it. Okay, Shakespeare, I've got it. Yeah. Marcus! Thank you for the 1999 super chat whilst we did this podcast, buddy. We very much appreciate that, and we are OP. W whilst, L Hamas, W Hamas, stay humble.
Stay humble.